You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
We'll start here this hour with an update on the Heisman odds. It's July. Understand we're two months away from the college football season, roughly. And this is going to be one of your last updates kind of that you get. And there is a bit of a change at the top. These odds come from Circa Sportsbook. And for the longest time, looking at other books, DraftKings, FanDuel, like BetOnline, all of them, you had Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier running co-favorite there as, preseason favorite for the Heisman Trophy. Arch Manning is now the solo favorite at 5-1. I know. You're shocked. Stop the presses, right? Garrett Nussmeier follows right behind him at 8-1, and then Cade Klubnik from Clemson is at 9-1. And I don't think you really expect anything different than those three guys to be your top three, but it's very intriguing because each of them plays a very, very pivotal game week one of the season that will be the first step in shaping this race. Arch Manning travels with Texas up to Columbus to face Ohio State. And of course, Cade Klubnik and Garrett Nussmeier face off against each other in Clemson. Let's say Arch Manning and Texas win that game on the road at Ohio State. Arch Manning, and he plays well, he will steamroll out in front in these Heisman Trophy odds. He will be an overwhelming favorite at that point. The winner of the LSU Clemson game will be the one behind him. And we'll also see an increase in their odds. But I would think Manning would still, given name, everything, people are going to throw a lot of money there. And he would take a large lead. If he loses, and I want to say if Texas loses that game against Ohio State week one, which I think is very possible, by the way. You're looking at the winner of LSU Clemson, whether that's Garrett Nussmeier or Cade Klubnik, being the favorite for the Heisman Trophy when you head into week two. The interesting aspect of this, though, is the favorite, preseason for sure, rarely wins. I mean, last year, Travis Hunter wins the Heisman Trophy last year. Travis Hunter's odds were long preseason. So I guess that's really kind of bad news for Arch Manning, right? And good news maybe for everybody else. But what you always want to find, and look, obviously, Garrett Nussmeier, capable of winning the Heisman Trophy. Like, we fully understand that. Everything there lines up for Nuss. He's going to have good numbers. Like, he's going to be very productive. He's the only returning 4,000-yard passer in college football. And all LSU did was go out and get him even more weapons. LSU is set to have a good season and be in playoff contention. And, a lot of people are predicting them to make the college football playoff. You need that, obviously. Manning, Klubnik, they're all going to have that as well. That's why it's going to be so interesting to see which one of them can really take that first step to steering the Heisman race, getting in the driver's seat of the Heisman race after week number one. But again, what you always want to look for, because the favorite rarely wins the Heisman Trophy, the preseason favorite, is value. And, Taylor and I were kicking this around earlier. Now, I'll give him a big hat tip for this because I think he found the value. and it's Julian Sayin at Ohio State at 20-1. Because Sayin is in that same position that Nussmeier, Manning, Klubnik are in. He has a marquee game to open up the season. He's facing off against Arch Manning. There's going to be a lot of eyes on that Texas-Ohio State game, even though it's at 11 a.m. Shout out Big Noon Kickoff. Just continue to do that. What a weird league. Sayin goes out. I mean, it's the marquee game of the morning window. First weekend of college football. Everybody's going to be locked in. Sayin goes out. He puts up a good day. Ohio State wins that game. You're not getting him at 20-1 again. And you're looking at a team in Ohio State that could be 7-0 if you look at their schedule, heading into their game against Penn State the first Saturday in November. He's got weapons to throw to. I mean, look no further than Jeremiah Smith, but he's also got Carnell Tate.
And honestly, though, now that you're saying that, Jeremiah Smith could be his biggest problem.
He could be. Jeremiah Smith is at 16-1.
Yeah.
He'd be the other value play that you'd attack right now, because when you look for a non-quarterback this year, that's your answer. Like, the only other one to even consider would be Ryan Williams at Alabama, but their quarterback deal that they have to solve, and also they're kind of, to me, in the same spot they were a year ago at wide receiver, where you don't really have anyone great opposite him that you know of. I mean, you had Jeremy Bernard, but you had that last year. Well, that didn't go great. Teams started doubling Ryan Williams and kind of took him away. What Alabama's going to need is Derek Meadows to go in there and actually just be a stud 5-star freshman right off the bat. So that's why, you look at Jeremiah Smith, but that's when you get into the whole, quarterback or wide receiver there. And if Ohio State's having a great year and Jeremiah Smith's having a great year, a lot of that's going to come from Julian Sayin. So, I mean, you look at that, man, and you go, all right, Ohio State, they might not be as dominant as they were a year ago, but, I mean, they're still going to have a good defense. Ohio State, actually, for what it's worth, they lead the way here with these odds, with the most players on it. They have Smith, Sayin, CJ Carr, and then also Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is not going to win the Heisman Trophy, mind you. But again, you still have that guy on your defense as well. So Buckeyes are going to be a very good team. And again, if Sayin's in that same spot that Manning, Klubnik, and Nussmeier, if he wins, or if his team wins that game against Texas, 20-1, no more. You're going to see him shoot up the odds boards there. And that could just be your value play in the Heisman Trophy. Just to round it out, the conversation, Drew Allar was at 12-1 behind Klubnik. Then Jeremiah Smith, we talked about a little bit at Ohio State, 16-1. You had DJ Lagway at Florida, 17-1. Lenoris Sellers, 19-1. I mean, that is going to make Vegas a lot of money. Both those bets there. Dante Moore, who transferred from UCLA to Oregon at 20-1. I don't really know what to make of Oregon's team this year. They definitely have some weapons, but quarterback, that's a big question mark. I mean, you're replacing Dylan Gabriel, Dylan Gabriel in his own right a year ago was a heavy favorite for the Heisman Trophy early. And at one point, people thought might be, potentially a top 10 pick in the draft. So that's going to be interesting to see with them. But you do have a change at the top there with Arch Manning now taking sole possession as the preseason favorite for the Heisman Trophy. Garrett Nussmeier right behind him at 8-1. Cade Klubnik right behind him at 9-1. First week of the season, man, it's going to shape the Heisman Trophy race early between Manning, Nussmeier, Klubnik, and Julian Sayin at Ohio State.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.